Well, let's have another go with this whole showcasting thing. Let's see if these are some updated volume settings. Might give us a bit better, sort of pickup as far as my voice, because apparently it was pretty quiet last time. I apologize if there's a lot of fan noise in the background. I'm sorry, it is too damn hot to not have a fan on, especially if this game goes longer than about 30 seconds. So right now, it looks like, in terms of the lane matchups, we have a relatively rare Fiora in the jungle up against Xin Zhao. Previously, very popular pick, not so much right now, bit weak in the meta, but still a very usable pick, very strong ganks, especially early dueling. Looks like we may have a Heimerdinger top lane up against Tryndamere. Now, Tryndamere likely to get bullied out, melee champion up against Heimerdinger. He's going to go in, ult, who may just get stunned by the grenade. Now, it looks like I am having a pretty wonderful spectator bug here. There is nobody on the Rift. I'm going to have to restart. It's going to be very difficult to cast a game that doesn't have anybody. Oh, wait, the timer has just reset. Everybody's spawning in. I was a little worried there. So, continuing on, it looks like in the mid lane we do have a Victor versus an Ahri. This matchup could go either way. Victor is absolutely brutal if he can land his death rays, if he can land his siphoning power ability. If he can get those abilities on, he's going to do tons of damage. And of course, in team fights with his ultimate, he just blows people up. He does so much damage. Stun field, extremely strong area control. But of course, Ahri, very mobile, very to catch people out, burst them down. It'll be very strong if she can get the jump onto Victor or onto Fiora, especially Fiora, relatively immobile unless she's in range for her dashes. But of course, that's only a dash towards. Moving forwards, though, in the bot lane is one of Ahri's natural enemies. We do find Morgana on support, supporting Tristana here. Now, this is a lane where, if Morgana can land a binding, if she can get a dark pool down, that's going to be... Oh, it looks like there is a level 1 first blood! I didn't even see it happening. Bard does manage to take it. So, first blood for Bard, that's a bot lane advantage here. Are we going to see a cloth armor? Are we going to see... we can see an amp tome. Very aggro. So moving forwards into the bot lane, we do have Morgana and Tristana, an extremely bursty lane. Normally, might be something that Caitlyn would have to worry about, but of course Caitlyn able to play very far back with the extremely high auto attack range, and with now a Bard starting with an extra amp tome into lane. It's going to be very difficult for the enemy team to actually engage successfully onto that, especially with Bard. His damage normally isn't that great, but with the extra amp tome, he is doing over 100 damage with his Cosmic Binding at level 1. I mean, Morgana-based damages aside, she can't match that. And Spell Thieves even. That's going to be more than 100 damage. So, looking at this game right now, this is an interesting level 1. Victor does spot everybody out, and the blue squad does have 4 people down here, but it is a stun onto Victor. And a slow. There's more auto attacks. Is this going to be second blood? Bard gets second blood as well. However, he's extremely low now against Fiora. Fiora, of course, getting stunned up by Bard. The auto attack. Mastermind does not want to go in. Caitlyn's out of position to support Bard, not having flash or ignite. He is going to die here. The question is, how long can he distract the enemy team before he goes in? A flash taken by Fiora! Not necessary. Caitlyn had Tristana had just auto attacked. Tristana was denying the execute there. So that is flash and 2 kills for red team versus the solo kill for the blue team. Of course, Bard being down, all summoners as well. Definitely does give an opening for the blue team, having only Tristana's flash being down. So as they flash and ignite down on Bard, only flash down on Tristana, Caitlyn burning nothing as well as the Morgana. Caitlyn Morgana having actually both Ignite and Exhaust available. These are very aggro summoner spells. Very damage dealing, which makes sense with the early aggression that you will typically want to see out of Tristana, having much higher burst damage than Caitlyn and needing to counteract her extremely long range. Bard also having the sustain advantage for the matchup, and with some relatively high damage given his early 2 kills, you really need to burst people down here. Now, in the top lane, we see both laners already below half health. Heimerdinger throwing down some poke, not really landing much. Turrets providing a massive annoyance for Tryndamere, pushing up the lane. He's going to get control of this lane and be very difficult to gank. With 2 squishy melee carries ganking in Heimerdinger, once Heimerdinger gets that early Zhonya's, he's going to be extremely difficult to kill. Any ganks top lane may actually just result in a double kill for Heimerdinger. However, later on in the game, when both these carries get some lifesteal, both of these carries get some damage, they'll just be burning right through his turrets. It'll be extremely difficult for him to make stuff happen. This is where you want to transition into sieges. Now, in the mid lane, we do see pretty much completely even in CS. Victor does have the one death. It did not really cost him. It was he could recover easily from that. Ahri having an assist, giving her a little bit of extra gold and XP, but CS very even, and Ahri being down quite a bit in mana. Looks like using a lot more spells than Victor is. And now, bot lane, a kill from Tristana, Tristana full health. That must have been a binding out of Bard. So Lady Chaos now at level 2 versus the 2 level 3 opponents in lane. Now she's getting some auto attacks down onto Morgana, but this is an all-in from Morgana. A flash in to get by the minions. The binding misses, manages to grab the health Lady Chaos. Flash now, out of both bot laners, is down. This is the lane that Xin Zhao wants to gank. He has red buff, and bot lane with no flash. He doesn't even need to worry about proccing the red buff before dashing in. He can just dash straight in onto Morgana, slow her. She can't get out, especially if he does it quickly enough that she doesn't black shield herself in time. In top lane, we now see the potions coming out of Heimerdinger keep getting him up to full health. He's absolutely fine here. Techmaturgical Repair Pots has a bad description. It's very bad. It's so bad I don't even remember what it does, if it still gives him the health regen. I'm pretty sure it does. I think the only change to it was it doesn't give it to, you know, towers anymore. But I can't tell because it has a very bad description. So, bot lane, we have Lady Chaos going back. This does give Tristana a fairly large CS advantage, which is actually now mirrored in all lanes across all roles. The only position in which we have a CS advantage does appear to be the support. Hardly a big thing. Now, that is a double kill for Victor with an excellent death ray. But what's this? Xin trying to clean it up. Fiora is here, though, and Xin is stunned down. He is going to go down. That's 3 kills in the mid lane for 0. Blue team off to a huge start right now. Up CS and kills. They're up 2,000 gold at the 6-minute mark. Surprised we're not seeing an early dragon here, especially with Smite not too far off for Fiora. We may see some pressure going down here. Scuttlecrab is up. Is Fiora going to go for it? Try and maybe secure that early dragon? Victor's a little low for a dragon fight, and especially with spawn timers being as low as they were, Fiora not having Smite available right then, it may have been a good call not to go for the dragon. So, RND, Robert Paulson pushing up very hard on the Heimerdinger. It's to be expected. You're in a Tryndamere versus Heimerdinger matchup. Any Heimerdinger matchup, Heimer's going to shove. The only one who might be able to shove against him is Anivia or Morgana, and even that, you need some levels down before you can get anything going there. Tryndamere's a little low, and having actually not used his potion, I'm not sure why. And gold totals, though, he is ahead by 14 CS. This is not an insignificant gold lead. In the jungle, it's a 10 CS advantage for Fiora, almost a 10 CS advantage in mid lane, and a greater than 10 CS advantage for Tristana in the bot lane. This is a pretty large gold advantage for blue side, especially being up the kills that they are. With a Bard only having all of the kills for his team, but also 60% of his team's deaths, you've really, you know, gotta wonder what's going on with this Bard. So, Bard at full health, his stun just being down, but Black Shield also down for quite some time, being just used. We have Xin coming in the backside. Bard being very aggro, does manage to stun up Tristana. Tristana rocket jumping right into the waiting arms of Xin. Ignite is burned, and so is Flash out Tristana. Mastermind bound under the tower. Jacob not wanting to take too much damage. He has those 3 gray screens to work on, but again, Jakub Stedel getting every single kill for his team. You've gotta wonder what is going through the mind right now. So, Scuttlecrab having just worn out on the bottom river, Victor will have seen them coming up if he was paying attention, but only just. Trying to push up onto Ahri, trying to deny CS, trying to deny as much gold as possible to the tower, also trying to poke down for a kill. Both mid laners now, having their ultimates, both being at level 7, definitely a big deal in terms of the matchup here. Now, Victor is roaming down, looking for Dragon, didn't find anybody. Getting a bit of freedom now with being pushed up as far as he is now. Robert Paulson getting ganked in the top lane. Heimerdinger does not go down. The turret does not finish him off. He does manage to heal himself. He's trying to kite around his turrets. He did not have Flash or Barrier available, having just used them in that gank and still going down. Fiora didn't even smite a turret for that one. So they were able to pull up the damage. Heimerdinger, of course, not having teleport, so he did not quite want to back. We do see it looks like an ult all in from Victor. Just a quick combo of spells. It's a lot of damage coming out of his ultimate. So we do have Mastermind trying to evade here. He does not have Smite available. He is going to get executed. What is he thinking? I just said that! Okay, so in bot lane, normally I would give this lane to Bard, having gotten 2 kills at level 1 and having Caitlyn much stronger early game with the auto attack advantage. However, with this fact that Bard has gotten all of the kills, and now Tristana having 2 kills up on Caitlyn, even being down 2 deaths, Tristana is at the same level and does have significantly more gold as a BF sword to a crit cloak. This definitely hurts Caitlyn's poking ability, and absolutely Tristana has the advantage in the matchup right now. It will take, lots of poking down on Tristana before you can get a good fight, especially with Morgana and Tristana already having the better burst damage out of this lane. Sustain is in, of course, the favor of the lane with a Bard, but we really need to see some poke coming out from Caitlyn to make this, to balance this out. So in the top lane, we see Tryndamere already having a Tiamat. Now this is going to mean that Tryndamere is going to actually start pushing up the lane quite hard, especially with Heimerdinger only having a chance to put down 1 turret. Not being able to get his full menagerie set up quite yet. This is going to be very, very tricky. And we see Scuttlecrab going down in the bot lane, wants to secure that vision. However, Morgana does have the ward down here, so the binding does just barely miss. So, getting back to the game, Victor's gone back, Fiora's gone back. We're not going to see any huge plays on the map here. However, blue lane side doesn't really need to. They're up 3,500 gold at the 10-minute mark. Going in for a burst onto Lady Chaos. The ultimate goes down, the E goes down, lots of damage. I mean, that was just... that's all she wrote. You get bound, you get bursted. That's what happens when Tristana gets an early BF sword. Kiona comes down, trying to make something happen. She goes right through a ward. Tristana even with the BM left. But what's this? The Black Shield was not fast enough, but Kiona gets bound up. She does not go for the flash ulti. Kiona's actually going to get bound up even further by the ultimate. She flashes out of it. Kiona with that binding managing to just barely save Tristana's life. Tristana tried to BM and it almost paid the cost. Oh! Bard lands the ultimate. Is this going to be... he stuns too early and the ignite is not going to be enough flash for the ultimate. Mastermind coming in to try and take out Morgana. Morgana has absolutely 0 mana. But they back off. Tower damage very strong. Now, Bard is moving up in the direction of Dragon. However, Victor is there. Mastermind going in hard. Is he going to get stunned up? He's taking the ignite. He's taking the ult. He's taking the laser. He's taking a lot of damage right now. He's backing off, but this might just be playing into Victor's hand. He's now very low. Victor's going to jump in for this damage. He does get charmed, but it is not enough. He does get the kill, as Victor is now 4-1 with 70 CS. He is huge. However, we look in the top lane at Tryndamere, 105 CS at this point. He has absolutely got a huge amount of gold. Victor gets another kill onto Bard as he tries to recall. This is just getting out of hand right now. Tryndamere did go in for a fight, was not quite strong enough, did get beat up by the turrets, had to blow ulti. He does have health back now, but not a huge amount of lifesteal. Remember, that's a Tiamat, not a Hydra. As a result, any damage that he takes is going to stick pretty hard. This is not the AP Tryndamere of old, folks. He cannot sustain himself against that kind of poke purely through Bloodlust. So in the bot lane, we now see in the 1v1, Caitlyn able to play quite safely. Tristana not having Ignite and not having Flash quite yet, at least. It's going to be difficult for Tristana to 100 to nothing Caitlyn. However, she can get a lot of damage down. Remember, this is still a BF Sword Tristana. BF Sword Pickaxe, even, having gotten killed on that gank. Looks like Tryndamere managed to get a kill. I didn't even see that happen so fast. So, Mastermind not getting executed at this camp, does manage to clear it out pretty quick. So now we see both big carries, both big melee carries on the part of the blue team, having Tiamat. Now, it is very good for the blue team that they are snowballing, because having 2 melee carries and no tanks on the team normally is an extremely risky proposition. You're going to have really strong 1v1 duels and split pushing, but in a big team fight, you just won't have the front line to survive, especially with Ahri. Trying to engage onto Ahri is extremely difficult. You will get charmed, you'll get hit by the Orb of Deception, you'll just take so much free damage. It's going to cause some issues. However, the split pushing here is extremely strong. Ahri does not land the charm using all 3 dashes. you know, just not going to be able to get the kill there. Now, Victor's coming bot lane. Jakob's Shadow's extremely low. He is going to die from an auto attack right here. Oh, he gets ulted out to safety. Victor is coming in behind, though. Is he going to land the death ray, or is Jakob going to back off in time? Jakob is still extremely low. Victor does have his ultimate, but does not have any summoners. I feel like blue side is going to be able to push this in and is going to get the kill. We see in the mid lane there's a gank going down onto Fiora, a counter gank even, which means that there's counter gank is not available on the blue side, or on the bottom side. This means that Victor may well be able to get the kill. Oh, Jakob walks straight in. He does get lasered, he gets Q'd, he gets killed. There's an ultimate now down on Lady Chaos. Tristana doing all the damage to the tower. That ain't going to keep you safe for long, sister. Does actually take damage from the explosive shot Tristana as the tower dies. Mastermind just has to get out. Taking a lot of damage from Victor here. He ults him just to escape safely. However, Victor, of course, getting the move speed from his upgraded Siphon power, you know, it's going to take some running to get away. So, looking now, 13-5 is the scoreline as far as kills, 3-0 for towers. This is very telling in the gold, a 7k gold difference. They have managed to open up a huge gold lead at the 15-minute mark. We see RA clearing out top lane. Red side at this point is just trying to get some sort of gold in their pockets, because you can't do anything if you don't got stats, and you can't get stats if you don't got gold. Oddly enough, this is a game in which we are 15 minutes in, 2 melee carries, one team with a distinct advantage, and the team with the advantage being the team with teleport. And yet still no dragons have been taken. Now we do see Mastermind going on Tryndamere, goes in extremely late. He's already half health well before, you know, Tryndamere even fights. And actually the Cinder Hulk may get him killed here on the Gromp. Just barely surviving here. Now, we do see, it looks like that is Victor is all caught up, but the blue team does arrive. Tryndamere doing a ton of damage. Fiora, no, Tryndamere cleaning up that other one. Jakob Siddle trying to escape in time. He does take a magical journey, but, you know, Tryndamere does have his level 2 boots. He is going to be pretty speedy, going to spin over the wall to try and intercept here. Now, boots of mobility going to get broken on Jakob as soon as he takes damage, and we have Victor coming up to intercept down the lane. Boots of mobility broken. That means he's now going to be the slowest thing on the field. He does manage to get the slowdown, but the spin is up, and the kill is good. That is a 4-0 Tryndamere to match up with the 6-1 Victor and 4-3 Tristana. Now, Fiora soloing Dragon down here. No lifesteal, but it should not be an issue, especially with Riposte being such a powerful ability. And with Tristana now here to help, it should be a free but very late Dragon for the blue team. So, Mastermind trying to take anything he can, just needing to try and keep up in levels, keep up in farm, keep up in the game. Going for this blue buff here. Now, whether he will hand it over to Ari or whether he will just take it himself, looks like he takes it himself for the cooldown reduction. Going a very tanky build, Cinder Hulk into Kindle Gem. We may see a Black Cleaver out of him in the future. Tryndamere now trying to solo push into Bard. Bard does manage to get the stun down. Tryndamere is taking a lot of damage. He ults actually quite early, but he may get the kill on the Jakob. Jakob having to flash out actually against Tryndamere's huge crit damage, especially this early having a Hydra. That's 150 farm there, folks. And the 4 kills definitely do not hurt. Now Kiona coming in for the dash. Is she going to land the triumph? She does not. Tryndamere spins away. Don't know if it would have hit anyway. So we do see in the bot lane, Lady Chaos running for her life, having been engaged on there. Going to try and save the tower, but it is a little bit risky. I mean, both bot laners are very low on health, but so is Lady. If Tristana can just jump in, land a quick ult, ignite, and an auto attack, jump right back out again, that might be all that they need. We do, however, see Jakob equally low on health, but coming in to assist Mastermind. The gank is not good. That is Tristana jumping in and jumping out, but that means her jump is now on cooldown. Jakob very low, has to be very careful when going in. But what is Mastermind doing? He's so far back. Tristana gets the kill onto Jakob because Mastermind was trying to bait for the jump that just wasn't there. I'm gonna wait for the jump, not bait for it. So we see Tryndamere just pushing up in top lane. He's completely safe right now. There's nothing that can really be done to him right now. Having, you know, both parts of Shiv and that Hydra, he's going to have a ton of damage and a ton of lifesteal. He's just going to be critting and autoing quite quickly. He's going to be devastating. We have 3 people in the mid lane. Dark Binding landed, and that's all she wrote. Morgana taking a bit of damage from the tower there, but it's not enough to get the kill in. Fiora is going to finish off that tower real fast. It is now 4 towers to 0 and 1 dragon. This is almost an 11k gold advantage at the 18.5 minute mark. So we do see Heimerdinger having just barely finished his Zhonya's here. but no real completed items out of the rest of the team. And we do have Merlinomicon out of Ari, but not even an Infinity Edge out of Caitlyn right now, with only 77 farm at the 19-minute mark. And Bard having the Frost Queen claims for a team, but also having 60% of the kills. We do see Heimerdinger actually getting caught up by Tristana here. He has a rocket on him. He does manage to barrier the damage, and we do have Mastermind going on Tristana, having used the jump and the flash here. This may be a kill. And Bard picks up another kill! He is just trolling his team at this point with these. Kiona misses the charm. This does give Victor a big area of opportunity to play aggressive here. But Kiona manages to land a lot of damage, but Kiona also getting stunned and getting silenced by the ultimate. Can't go in. Victor doesn't even die from the Caitlyn ultimate, manages to sidestep the Bard, and is just going to walk out of there after having gotten a kill. Bard very fast though, coming in onto Victor. Victor had to flash away. He's going to have laser up in a minute. He has stun field up right now. He does manage to do a ton of damage to Jakob and gets the kill. The Q from Caitlyn just missing. Caitlyn being out of mana, she's not going to want to go up against the burst damage of Brand. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Tryndamere and Fiora just pushing up the lanes, putting a ton of pressure down on the map, being melee carries who are very ahead. We do have Victor and Tristana, or Victor and Morgana actually managing to get the kill on Lady Chaos. There's so much happening around the map right now. Nobody is really grouping up. They're just so far ahead in every lane. They can just win every lane evenly. They don't need to go for the risky multi-man tower dives. They don't need to press their advantage too hard. They're pressing it hard enough just walking into the lanes. They're so far ahead in gold right now. This is, as I said, a 12k gold advantage now with the 20-minute mark. Ooh, Morgana does land on a cupcake. Caitlyn, Ari doing a lot of damage to Tristana. Morgana not having much available. We do see, however, Fiora jumping in, ulting here. Lots of damage down onto Kiona. Is Kiona going to go down? Mastermind does manage to get the kill on Morgana. This is going to be a tower dive gone wrong, as is Bard going to get the kill here. Ignite is down. He does get the kill. Let's see what's going on here. Tristana is now in between a couple of fairly scary people. Lady Chaos at full health, has all the parts of Infinity Edge. Not quite the whole thing, though. Mastermind is not going to get bursted down. He does get the knock-up as Tristana's in mid-rocket jump. Manages to get the kill. 4 and 3 now for Xin Zhao. With 6 and 8 on Bard. No other kills anywhere on the red team. So Xin does in fact pick up a Black Cleaver here. He's going to be doing a lot more damage now. We may need more frontline here. We have Victor coming up just to pick up a free kill onto Bard. Now looking to get a kill onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn at this point just delaying. There's no realistic way for Caitlyn to get away here. Caitlyn's just going to try and delay Victor for as long as possible. Make sure that he wastes as much time as possible getting this kill. Victor is just dancing and shaking his stick. Ultimate, not necessary, but does go down. That's why you don't dance, folks. You misjudge skill opportunities. Looking at the map, I mean, is warding even worth calling out at this point? I mean, red team certainly needs to get some wards down, but considering that half the time they're standing at their tower and they've got the enemy team behind them anyway, a gank going on in the top lane. Tryndamere does have to flash out. He is going to have to spin up momentarily. He is going to get away from this. Still no kills, and every time I look away, Victor's picking up another kill. He's now legendary at 12 and 1 with Death Cap and a perfect Hex Core finished. This guy's got 500 ability power at the 22-minute mark. So blue buff is available. Looks like the blue team is looking in for it. They have warded it, and also some pings going down on their dragon. They are aware it is available. They are aware that they're a lot stronger. At least I certainly hope they are. They may... Fiora does appear to be going for this while Victor picks up the blue buff. Black Shield, probably not necessary on Victor. I've not known blue buff for his CC or magic damage capabilities. So now, in the mid lane, we do have Tristana, a little bit vulnerable, but having her ult and rocket jump available should be enough to get away from Xin, especially with no red buff, no frozen mallet. All he has is that one slow engage. Now, Bard coming in, if he does manage down to stun, that can do some work, but, it looks like he's moving forward, but it's not going to be enough. Tristana backed off long ago. In the top lane now, we do see Tryndamere spinning in onto Heimerdinger. He's going hard. He just did half of Heimerdinger's health in one engage. Heimerdinger with a quick Zhonya's, though, right as Tryndamere ult goes down, and I look away for 1 minute, guys! Mastermind going very low from the bomb on his head. He does not die, though. Tristana jumps in, trying to get the last hit. Is not successful, just did not have the range. This is not the Tristana that we're used to. She's only level 10. So Heimerdinger does manage to hold on the top lane. Tryndamere actually backing off. Doesn't, choose to keep pushing there. Might be a little safe until he can get his lifesteal up. It looks like we are going to see one of the relatively lesser used items, the Zephyr, coming out here. So, looking now, blue side actually has much more ward coverage than the red side does, which is not a good sign for the red side. They need these wards down. They need to try and find openings to pick people off. However, as we've seen time and time again, Victor getting picked off, he gets ganked by 3 people, he kills 2 of them. You know, these picks are just not happening. There's just not the damage there. Tryndamere, of course, extremely hard to catch. He does not have his ult or flash up here. Something could happen here. He does spin away. He does get slowed, though. However, with Morgana and Victor coming in to assist, this is just not going to be a good fight. Part of it, too, is with the red side so far behind, lacking the damage that they really need to be able to pick someone off and actually kill them when they catch them. Even if they do manage to land the CC, even if they do manage to catch someone out alone, it's going to take so long for them to actually get a kill down that, you know, help may well arrive for the blue side by the time anything happens. Top lane here, RND is about to get tower dive from both sides here. This is going to be very bad for him in a moment, with Victor even coming up. Tryndamere and Victor able to keep assistance away while Fiora pushes up to him. Fiora doesn't even push up the lane. Fiora just leaves it. What's Fiora doing? Fiora, you're a crucial part of this tower dive. What's going on? We see here that, I mean, you know, even with 3 people up here, just Tryndamere and Victor is able to zone everybody off. Xin trying to go aggressive, but just not really able to make it happen. The ult does land down. It's actually saved it from all the damage now. We do have Victor getting a kill here. Here's going quite low. He gets a double kill, though. Tristana misses the jump over the wall. Flash away from Heimerdinger Ruckus. We have Fiora going in with the tower dive. She does still have ult available. Uses the ult down onto Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger's going down here, but we did see a Caitlyn ult taking out Victor in that whole fight. He's now got 2 deaths. That's a huge shutdown for Caitlyn, but I just don't think it'll be enough. That was a 1 for 3. Admittedly, most of the people still alive are very low, but Tristana's full health, and that's what you really need to be able to take this tower. That does manage to take tower aggro onto Tryndamere through... Oh, that is a flash engage from Mastermind. Just takes him out with the flash home guard. Tristana walking right over where this may actually be a catch here. Oh, he does manage to get the slow onto the dash, however, does get ulted back. Not much happening here. Tryndamere, in the meanwhile, just pushing up with everybody on the enemy team alive. Just does not care. He's so difficult to kill. He has so much lifesteal. He can get back to full health after that fight where he finished it at about 200. He's now coming in behind onto Lady Chaos and onto Mastermind. He may be able to pick up Lady here. With relatively little vision here, we have Fiora and Tryndamere, 1 on each side. Tryndamere gets the kill extremely quickly. Does have the mocking shout down. We are going to see Fiora coming in. Fiora's a lot more brave than the Tryndamere. Tryndamere's a little bit low. Worried about maybe Ari coming in to stop him. So, we do see the Spooky Ghost coming out from Bard. Just wants to know if Fiora's all alone. Wants to know if it's possible to go in on this. Team does not use the information, though. Spooky Ghost did not actually spot anyone else out nearby, but they choose not to engage. Not sure quite what the point of the Spooky Ghosts were there. So looking now, we see huge farm advantages across the board, except in the bot lane for the blue side, actually. Bot lane is extremely even in farm, even in deaths, but of course the 6 kills that Tristana have are only 6 assists for Caitlyn, only 1 kill for Caitlyn. In terms of gold totals, though, it's still a huge difference. Tristana just hasn't purchased items in a while. Sitting on 1,700 gold. That should be, you know, quite a lot of items here. Now, blue side, all stacked up in the bot lane with their AD carry. Fiora the only one not here, and Fiora's coming in. We see Luden's death cap and a perfect Hesc core.